What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Knockout Sessions. It's your boys, Ja.
Ja. Not to be confused with Ja Morant. Just Ja.
Nah, we're real gangsters here.
Shots fired.
Man, we're real. Nah, I like Ja Morant, y'all. I ain't even gonna front with y'all. And I would like to excuse for Milton not being part of this one today. He's off doing other ventures. He hates us.
He's gonna edit this video, so we already know he's probably gonna put some little snarky comment somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
We miss you, Milton.
Warranted.
But we're here. We're always here for y'all. And we would appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and share the video.
And turn on that bell notification if you are subscribed, because somehow the viewer count isn't matching the subscriber count. So some of y'all aren't as loyal as you'd like to pretend to be.
I'll find y'all.
Absolutely.
Whoever's not watching, I'll find y'all.
We stand on business here at Knockout Sessions.
But thank you to everybody that subscribed to our Instagram and has been blowing up beautifully lately. We would appreciate it if everybody goes all over to our TikTok as well. We'll have our social media on the description, so you guys can go over there and subscribe. Tune in for our content. We have a lot of content that we're going to post in our videos that we post on our social media. A lot of news updates that we put on Twitter as well. So, just keep it rolling, guys.
And those flashy edits for the brain rot.
And speaking of brain rot, let's just get to it. Ryan Garcia.
Ooh. Lord, we're starting off hot today.
Yeah, feel me?
Jeez.
So, it's fight week.
It is.
It's Haney. Mm-hmm. It's Garcia.
Yep. Two of the biggest names in that weight class. And, I mean, boxing in general, really, at this point, yeah.
100%. It's fight week. They just had their, if you guys would follow us on Instagram and Twitter, you would see that we posted that heated face-off that they had today.
Yes, it escalated, and it's kind of hard to tell. They always say you don't want to get too much assumptions out of what you see, like in the build-up. Mm-hmm. But do you think that maybe Ryan's kind of getting in Haney's head, maybe kind of starting to piss him off with some of his antics, or do you think that it's just all part of the hype train?
I'll say two things. One, I think it is kind of pissing Haney off. But two, here's the thing about it: it's selling.
Oh, 100% it is.
Everybody wants to see what is this? What is is Ryan Garcia? The headline is Ryan Garcia a crackhead? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Valid question at this point.
What will the fight end in 2 to 3 rounds? Will Garden Haney gather what little knockout power he left behind 5 years ago to put him away early? Is it Haney's power? Is it Garcia's?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't want to assume. Whatever mental stability he's in.
Hey, I mean, the power is the last thing to go. So if he's swinging for the fences, but he still manages to catch that chin, that can make all the difference in the fight. So,
or maybe it's all smokes and mirrors. Yeah. Ryan's just doing this, my lord, just to get into his head, like you said, and he just comes in and he's a total killer on that day. We've seen crazier things.
We have. One can hope. And I've said this off camera, but I'm going to say it on camera. I actually told you this earlier. Ryan Garcia is like in his Mike Tyson era, but like the downfall of Mike Tyson era. I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with the shenanigans, but he's out here getting shotgun weddings in Vegas with P-stars.
Those corn stars are crazy.
Those corn stars, there you go. They're out here promoting BBLs and, implants, whatever other shenanigans, fighting against the Matrix. Shout out to our boy Tate, and all kinds of shenanigans. So Ryan's like in a weird Kanye meets Mike Tyson, but without the championship.
Yeah, I agree. It's questionable the things he's said, the things he's done. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it, honestly, in a long time. Maybe it is. I don't think it's CTE either. Dude just flipped the switch from one day to another.
I don't think he's even been in enough wars for something like that, unless he's got some bad headshots in sparring or something.
But here we are. This is the point. We're talking about it. You know, like that's.
If there's one thing we got to give Ryan credit for, is he always manages to stay relevant, regardless if he's fighting or not.
Yeah.
But now that it's it's been his fight season, like he's been on one.
And all the talk has been about Ryan Garcia. Where's Devin Haney in all this? You know, like I know he's focused on the fight, but it's like, what's your game plan? You know, like he's gonna be Haney. He's gonna be defensive. He's gonna be elusive. He's gonna do his thing. But maybe if he is getting pissed, will his emotions get the better of him?
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I feel like compared to a lot of other Haney's build-ups, like he has had like more bravado. And obviously we know him and Ryan go way back. They're kind of like rivals. But like even like early on when the fight first got announced, like there was that whole clip of like Haney's whole crew coming at Ryan's whole crew, and then now in fight week, it was Haney that initiated that push against Ryan. And
Haney's dad saying, quoting our good friend Ivan Drago, if he dies, he dies. He said that, and I was like, I don't know if you're say all that, buddy.
I mean, let's keep it a stack.
We don't want to see death out here in the ring.
Not only that, but Haney's not really known for that kind of power.
Oh yeah, no, stop that. You know better than that.
Come on, we know what it is. But yeah, we don't want to be promoting bodies dropping in the ring.
Now, if Devin Haney can go out there on Saturday and put the lights out on Ryan Garcia, then we're just like, okay.
That would be very surprising.
But the thing that would take away from it is, was Ryan in the right state of mind, the right conditioning? I don't know. We won't know what kind of Ryan Garcia we're looking at physically until maybe the win.
Yeah, I feel like the thing that kind of muddies everything too is like, we did hear from like Oscar and like kind of like Golden Boys camp in general that like they kind of tried taking Ryan into like a mental facility and making sure everything's okay, and they let him go. So it's like, again, we really don't know like what's going on with Ryan, and maybe it could be related to drugs, if it's like actually something he's going through.
This is a completely different Ryan Garcia than the one that fought Tank. I'm talking about, personality-wise, bravado. Like, this is, like you said, this is Kanye Tyson.
Yeah.
Or Mike West, whatever you want to call him.
Now, the only
Mike
thing...
West was hard, I ain't gonna lie.
Mike West. I feel like the only thing that can make this whole series of events even crazier is if Ryan gets the win.
Ooh.
If Ryan gets a win, like, what's next? Like, how does it get even crazier than that?
Teofimo.
Oh, man.
And those two are just, oh my God.
Those two could go blow for blow when it comes to mental health, potentially.
And Bible verses.
Bible verses, outside of the ring shenanigans, wife divorces.
Oh my Lord.
Child custody battles. Like, who knows?
But, we find all our answers on Saturday. I personally, my prediction is, I think Devin Haney gets done via, I'm going to go with unanimous decision. But I would not be surprised if, for whatever reason, if everything that's going on with Ryan Garcia has substance to it, if Haney really does, put him out. But I think it's going to go decision.
Yeah, I think the safe bet most likely goes to decision. Probably a shutout, to be honest. Like, obviously, even some of the clips we've seen of Ryan, like, training, he seems sluggish. Even his form's not.
And he does like to stay in the pocket, though, so.
That's true, which, again, you never know in boxing. There's always that puncher's chance, Ryan might just catch him with the haymaker. So.
Yeah, and the thing with Ryan is that you can't rely on your left hook forever. You get switch. If you switch it up, if you add in some extra tools into that arsenal when you're in the pocket, you could. If you could change it up, you might even be able to catch somebody like with Haney with something that you didn't see coming.
Yeah, I mean, we know that sometimes Haney likes to leave his chin in the air. So if Ryan were to land like just some uppercut from hell, like it's done. But he's a champ now. So
then we have a totally different narrative a week from now.
Absolutely.
But speaking of changes in certain boxers, Jerome Boots Ennis signs with Matchroom Boxing. I'm personally glad Eddie Hearn now has a new toy.
Absolutely. We already know Eddie Hearn is the closest thing we have to Dana White in boxing. So if he gets like a big chess piece like a Boots Ennis, with all the tools, with all the hunger and aspirations, like you can make some fun fights with them.
You could make, arguably, maybe, potentially, and it's Crawford still.
You could,
you know.
But my rebuttal to that is, Bud's kind of been on his diva time.
Mm-hmm.
So the likelihood of that actually happening is very, very slim.
It's because you know where this is probably going to go.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get Boots versus Conor Ben.
Yeah.
It just writes itself. Ben's already in the stable.
Yeah.
So, but regardless of the fact, I do like it because this now opens up a lot of possibilities for Boots. And I think the whole reason that Boots left PBC is because of the activity. He wanted to be more active. He wanted to be being able to put on the best show for the fans. And I guess he felt like he wasn't getting that out of PBC because he said, and I quote, "I'm excited for this partnership with Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and DAZN. I can't wait to continue my mark and becoming undisputed world champion. I've been out of the ring for a year, true. And I cannot wait to get back in and do what I do best, entertain the fans and put on clinics. There are blockbuster fights on the horizon for me and I'm ready to deliver them."
Now, let me put my conspiracy cap on and my wishful thinking pants. You know, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, Boots Ennis, DAZN, Golden Boy, DAZN, Virgil, Boots. Come on. You can't tell me that's not an enticing little battle there.
No, it's needed. I think that's eventually a fight to make. But for that to happen, Boots has to go up.
He does.
Because now Virgil campaigns at 154.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen Boots. He can easily fill out until 154. Does he want to? You know, it remains to be seen. You know, maybe it might be a little too soon, but you know, Virgil hasn't really been campaigning at 154 for that long either. So.
No, but I think Virgil is the long game, and I think Ben is the short game.
Yeah, the most likely suspect.
Mm-hmm. You could have maybe put Boots in. I believe Boots was supposed to fight Stanionis.
I actually do feel like I remember hearing about that. Pull out the old research.
Let me see just to confirm here with y'all.
Jamie, pull that up. Julian, pull that up.
Shout out to our inspiration,
the MVP of this league.
It was not actually made, but Jaron Ennis did say he'd fight Stanionis in a heartbeat.
Oh, we'd love to see it.
That's also a good fight, but I think it's for sure going to be Boots and Conor Ben, which eventually will lead to the winner of that fight going for Virgil at a higher weight class, especially if Virgil can collect a belt at 154.
Yeah.
But that should be good. That's going to be a fun signing. Anytime Eddie Hearn gets a fighter of Boots' caliber in that farm of his, we got a new little shiny thing to look into.
We already know Eddie Hearn does not run these protection programs for any of his fighters. Everybody can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can get it. No one is safe. There's no safety on Eddie Hearn's Glock.
Oh,
if you know, you know.
We don't condone Wahid methods here.
We don't. We are accepting of all except taint sexuals.
Wahid sexuals.
Oh, Wahid.
But when we go from one fighter starting a new journey, potentially another one ending it, and not just anyone, but the legend of Triple G. Is he retired? Because according to his promoter Tom Loeffler, he has said that he believes Triple G is now most likely retired from boxing. Golovkin never officially announced a retirement from following the Canelo trilogy, but is now 42 and the president of Kazakhstan's Olympic Committee. There has been pictures recently that have surfaced of Triple G, how he looks physically, and he's enjoying that time. He's enjoying that money. You don't go trilogy with Canelo and not make a good profit out of that.
Oh, absolutely. If nothing else, like Triple G can never say that his pockets got cheated out of.
And the man himself got paid handsomely by DAZN when it first launched. DAZN's crown jewels were Joshua, Canelo, and Triple G when it started. Yeah. Triple G got paid probably the third biggest contract amongst those big three.
Absolutely. And, it makes sense at this point for Triple G to just hang up the gloves. I mean, he's not a spring chicken anymore.
42 has got nothing left to prove.
No, and then I mean, even before like the Canelo 3 fight, like we had already kind of seen his activity had slowed down a bit. He had kind of started changing his fighting style to kind of match his age, and I mean, we saw what Canelo did to him in that last fight. Like that mileage had to catch up at some point.
The thing about Golovkin though is that me personally, like when I look back on his career, it's not even it's a beautiful one. He never been knocked down.
No,
he never tasted the canvas. He never got knocked down. He never got cheated you out of a fight. Every Golovkin fight was an exciting fight. I think if you told me that third fight with Canelo was probably his most boring fight, I'd be like, well, shit, that's a nice career.
Yeah, that's solid.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said. I don't think there's really anything left in the sport for him. He's a household name. He made his money. He left his mark. It's a good right off into the sunset.
He was never going to go truly to super middleweight, anyways. I mean, the man made his career. I personally put him in my potential top 5, maybe even my Mount Rushmore middleweights of all time.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because when you look back, Golovkin was the man. He was the man he was the boogeyman in that division. He handled everybody from Lemieux, Daniel Jacobs. Who else did he fight? He fought Sergey Devyachenko when Devyachenko was a lot younger. He had a lot of good wars out there.
Canelo, the first time, arguably.
Obviously, Canelo. Aside, the dude already had a stacked resume by the time he got to Canelo.
Absolutely.
So sad to see Triple G go. I also probably would have liked to have seen just one more fight, maybe a Triple G Munguia at the time.
At least the send off, like the proper ring send off.
But I get it. Like the dude, he did everything he could at a young age. It wasn't like Andre Ward where he left
he left in his prime.
Yeah, he gave it all he could, and like I said, there's a lot of accolades that he has to his name that you can't take away from him if he was to retire. Like the fact that he had almost 45 fights and never been knocked down. Dude's a badass.
Oh, absolutely. And from what we're hearing, apparently this man's got himself a full-time job anyway. So
he's procuring the future of Kazakhstan sports.
Yeah, he's almost gonna be like the Khabib of boxing for Kazakhstan.
And if you're a Kazakhstan fan or Kazakhstani, you're in good hands with Shavkat. I'm just putting that out there.
Drop that little gem there.
But if it is Triple G, we did see the last of Triple G. Not a bad career. Dude's a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Will always be remembered as probably Canelo's biggest rival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you think Canelo, you think Triple G. You can't have one without the other.
So it is what it is with Triple G not having a send off, but dude's one of my all time favorite fighters to watch.
Absolutely.
When we flip.